I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got a taste for blood and my tongue keeps bleeding from the words I spit. So sharp, so freezing, so cold. Behold, frostbite they feeling. I could tear you apart or I could go heal them. Don't believe in fate, don't believe in ceilings. I just need a taste and my mind starts peeling. I don't pace myself, I grind on kneeling. Got lust for change, I just love the feeling. I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. And I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. Cause I'ma live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning. I live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me.
What's going on, Tight Nation? We finna get ready to get started in just a moment. Trying something. Definitely been trying to do some things differently with the cover graphics. So let me know what y'all think of that. If y'all like the design and everything like that. I'm trying a few different things. Trying to kind of change it up a little bit for this upcoming season. Trying to, work on some different things and kind of trying to put some different spin on the show. To make it more interesting. Make it better to draw some people in and things like that. So definitely a work in progress with that. So definitely bear with me. I'm kind of trying to keep it, more short to the point and things like that. So just let me know what you think. And, throughout the show, if y'all see anywhere that I need to improve the show from, week to week to make it even better, that may seem to be more popping to more people, to get more people in. Let me know what you think in the comments. Hey, any suggestions, could definitely be good. So, as we say on this show, I hold everybody else accountable, but I expect people to hold me accountable as well. So that's what we're talking about. But we're gonna definitely talk about OTAs, a few takeaways from that, and rumor, somebody put it out there, and I believe Jared even mentioned this, and one other person mentioned that D-Hop removed some stuff from social media, and it makes you wonder: is D-Hop unhappy with the Titans? Is he trying to get a new contract? We'll talk about that a little bit, and definitely be interesting because I've already seen some people come at me a little bit on social media when I put this out. So everybody come on in, and we'll definitely talk about that, and again talking about what's going on with OTA. So we're going to get this show started in less than 60 seconds, and y'all come on in, and we are going to get ready to get this road on the show.
off like a weapon. Fuel to the top, got a filled up engine. In my thoughts, obsession. I will not stop, no, I'm never second guessing.
Good evening, Titan Nation. How's everybody doing? What's going on, everybody? Welcome into TNT Tonight. I am your host, Chris, a.k.a. Blue Enforcer, a.k.a. The Truth. And glad to have everybody with us on this evening. Doing a Thursday night edition because at first I didn't think I had anything to talk about yesterday. I was actually going to do a different show and do like a quick short that I was going to do yesterday, but then found out that they did open practice yesterday, so kind of got a little bit to talk about a little bit. So definitely gonna get into that and everything. But I see like the subject has sparked some conversation that I had, and we're definitely going to get into that. But again, my name is Chris, aka Blue Enforcer, aka The Truth. Definitely make sure y'all follow me, whether it be on Facebook, on Twitter, X, or Instagram. Definitely follow me at those pages there. Facebook, TNT Enforcers. On X, it is at TNT Blue Enforcer, and that's TNT BLUEN number 4 CER. And then, of course, on Instagram, at Titans underscore N underscore truth. Definitely go ahead and follow there as well. Super chats, of course, are also appreciated as well. And I definitely do appreciate everybody coming on into the show. Also, everybody, as you come on in, make sure you go ahead and smash that like button. Definitely go ahead and smash that like button and as well. And then if you're new to the channel or you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, I don't know what you're waiting on. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Do me a favor. Again, the likes and the subscribe help me out. I am closing in on 1,500. Before the season starts, I want to get close to 2,000 before the season starts. So definitely help me out with that. I'm definitely trying to reach that goal. Definitely reach out to other. I'm not just talking Titan fans, but I'm also talking about football fans in general. I am 71 subscribers away from 1,500, so please help me get there on that, and we could definitely make that work. So, let's definitely talk about that, and then also, if you happen to miss any part of the show, definitely make sure you download Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, or Google Podcasts. Wherever you get your podcasts from is going to be available on there. Definitely no later than the following day. I would definitely make sure that it happens. I'm, trying to catch up on that slowly but surely with that. So definitely make sure y'all do that for me. And I definitely, again, appreciate everybody coming on in. And so definitely seeing a few people here. I see we got Titan MVP. We got Titan MVP. We got my guy Big Dog. What's up with you? Yeah, definitely. It's been a while. Glad to see you. Definitely glad to see you. Hopefully everybody else come on in as well. And you're welcome to comment. Let me, comment on here or on Twitter X if you're watching. Go ahead and comment as well. Also got this on LinkedIn as well, trying to, put it, trying to get it out professionally. Hey, I'm trying to build a career with this. Got to make sure I drink some water. Gotta, gotta replenish a little bit. I gotta replenish. Even though it does say Colton's on the cup, I do like some of their food. So if you're in the area, of Memphis, definitely check them out either in the Bartlett area or South Haven. Probably prefer the Bartlett area. They're a little bit nicer and a little bit um it's not as crazy, like not as crowded. So Okay, I'm sorry about that. Don't know why I had it on mute right there, but again, I appreciate everybody tuning in and things like that. You know, I got it going on here on Twitter X, also on YouTube. Make sure y'all comment and definitely share there. And I got it on LinkedIn. Got to keep it professional. Again, you know, definitely. I like Colton's. I like their steakhouse here in Memphis. So definitely make sure y'all check them out if you're ever in town. And you know, you won't be disappointed. They got some good food. But OTAs are happening and everything. So I definitely apologize with the microphone. Sometimes I guess when I bump it up against my desk that it does mute and everything. So I definitely apologize for that. But OTAs are continuing. So I thought I was not gonna have anything to talk about. I was actually having a different subject as far as a safety, but I'll do that another day with the discussion between Marcus May and Justin Simmons as far as who I think could be the safety for the Tennessee Titans going forward into this upcoming season. But training camp is on its way. They'll break in the middle of June, and then they'll be coming back late July, getting ready for the season. And so OTAs continued. They had open practice yesterday, and I thought, dang, I could have something to talk about. But OTAs, you know, definitely went down. And there's some takeaways that I have heard and seen, especially on social media and things like that. First off, the offensive line is putting in work, y'all. O-line putting in work. J.C. Latham is looking strong. J.C. Latham is looking good. I can't believe it. Um, I know a lot of people have been coming at me on J.C. Latham because I wasn't exactly thrilled when the pick was made that it was J.C. Latham instead of maybe like an Olu Fashanu, which I'm gonna have to find out how Olu Fashanu is doing up in New York and maybe see if there is a difference, you know, as far as how they feel about Fashanu up there as compared to how we're feeling about Latham. And definitely see how Joe Alt is doing at right tackle in LA. I'm gonna have to see about that because God, I wanted Joe Alt. I wanted Joe Alt. And I just thought Alt would be perfect. And them damn Chargers stole him from us. So that's definitely not um, something that you notice. But one thing that I have heard and have, you know, I've heard and seen from practice is that there's a different feel. Like Bill Callahan is putting in work. He's putting in work with these guys. And there are some drills that they're doing that we never saw the previous regime doing with these guys. And you could tell it's making a difference. Like Skoronski has come in. Skoronski is bigger. You know, Skoronski definitely looks bigger, like he's put on some weight, and it's a good thing. Cushenberry seems like he is fitting in well at center. Dylan Radens looks really good. Looks like he is improving and things like that. So, and Brunskill is getting back in the fight at right tackle. A lot of people, I think, thought, you know, that Sadiq Charles could be the lead going into that right guard spot, but it looks like Brunskill, he's trying to make a comeback in this fight. So that's going to be very, very interesting because, I mean, it looks like it's going to be Latham at left tackle, Skoronski at left guard, Cushenberry at center, battle between Sadiq Charles and Daniel Brunskill for right guard. And they got Dylan Radens as a right guard as well, although I think he should be the lead for right tackle. And right tackle is really the question. Right tackle is really the question. Um, as far as that is the and I'm probably gonna do a show maybe in, you know, in the middle of June when training camp breaks about which position I am the most which offensive position I'm the most confident about, which position am I the most concerned about, and the same on the defense. But I am definitely concerned about right tackle. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Because you got NPF who is still rehabbing and wasn't very good before. Jalen Duncan stunk last year. And then you got Dylan Radens, who I believe has improved and I believe should have a shot at right tackle. So, they asked Papa Bill Callahan about it. He's just, positive saying everybody's working, and really didn't give any insight on who could be the lead in that particular position. But that is, definitely some improvement on the offensive line, definitely doing some things different and everything. But it's basically to the overall thought of camp, and that is, how players are feeling. And quite a few players have definitely said it's a much more relaxed atmosphere. Players feel like they could be themselves. They feel like they could be themselves. They feel like they could be open and actually talk to the coach and actually, bring suggestions. And the coaches are actually listening to them and actually hearing them out. And so it seems like it's, Chig even said, there's a lot, it seems like there's a lot less tension. Um, a lot less tension in the locker room and things like that, and that players, there's a lot less tension. Things are a lot more relaxed, and we are allowed to be ourselves, as opposed to Mike Vrabel, or should I say Vrabum, who was basically always, it's my way or the highway, and just tough, 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 and you got to get it right, and get it together. The old school coach. And Callahan is more of a new school guy and things like that. So that's definitely very, very refreshing and important. And it seems like the guys can, flow a little bit easier, which that in turn can make a good football team and everything. Not always playing like you're on eggshells and things like that. And, Arden Key even made a comment and said, the last regime, it would be like if you're going through a drill or you're going through practice and, things are, you're not doing something right. The old regime will be like, you know what, we'll just keep going. We'll fix that later, or, we'll fix it tomorrow or something like that. He said the new regime is basically like, look, if they're seeing something is wrong, they're going to keep working it until they get it right, until it is fixed. And I like that. That is paying more attention to detail. That is basically saying, look, we getting on this field, we gonna work until we get it right. We gonna work until it's the way it's supposed to be. That way on Sunday, it goes exactly how it should. I like that approach. I like that approach. Some coaches will be afraid to do that because they'll think they'll fall behind. It's like, no, you want your players to understand and get it so they don't feel lost, when they're actually supposed to do it. So, you know, I definitely like, I definitely like that and stuff like that. And, you know, I, you know, I think that's a very, very good thing. And I like, again, I like how things are feeling. Lou Man says third on the light, but I'm like, who? How do you feel about Latham? Well, I answered that earlier. I was like, I'm starting to feel a little bit better about Latham. I'm not 100% yet. Again, I need to see him play against opposition before I just jump all in. But definitely. Um, Mars mentioned something about what I'm gonna talk about later. Let's see. Big Dog basically said Bill Callahan's gonna have his O line looking brand new. I agree. Parker Davis says Chick said the team is more player led than coaching led. Should be a team being coaching led. Should a team be coaching led or player led? I mean, because I think you want players to you want some players to establish leadership. You want to know who the leaders on your football team are, the guys that when it's crunch time, you look to them and it's like, those guys are going to be the ones that's like, hey, I'm finna get us to the finish line. So that's kind of what um you would need. Plus, again, it's much more of a relaxed atmosphere than all tensed up and everything, and it's kind of a different feel. Um, and so we're definitely going to get into that. But I definitely like that. I really definitely do. Um, Dre, Driz Beat says Ray Bum was a hardhead, and I could not agree more. I mean, again, I kept saying that for a couple of years. Vrabel is arrogant. Vrabel is hard headed. He thinks he knows everything, and everybody knows nothing. Brian Callahan is and one thing that Ray Bum didn't do, he was never transparent. He was just he acted like a lot of reporters were asking stupid questions and things like that. Brian Callahan is a lot more relaxed. He's a lot more transparent. He ain't gonna tell you everything, but Brian Callahan just seems a lot more people friendly. He's a lot more of a people person. He, is willing to talk to people. He's willing to at least try to answer their question to the best of his knowledge without giving stuff away. So that is something that I definitely like. Big Dog says he knows what he's doing. Cookie Man is here. Um, Lou Man says Ray Bum is a winner. Well, if he was a winner, he'd still be head coach. And if he was such a winner, somebody else would have hired him as head coach. But they didn't. He's some consultant with the Browns. Saw him trying to get involved in practice. I saw a picture of him, and I'm like, that just does not look like Vrabel. Can't get used to that. But, he's glad to be back in Ohio because that's where he's from. He's from the Ohio area, so technically he's home. So it is what it is on that. We ain't going to talk about Vrabel much anymore because he's just a jerk off. But another thing that's been happening in camp is a lot of, wide receivers, especially D-Hop and Calvin Ridley, they have really been pumping up Treylon Burks, and the team has too. Even though Treylon Burks did have a nice play tracking a deep ball and things like that. And it does look like, Treylon is definitely trying to bring something to the table. Bring something to the table that can be beneficial to this team. And it makes it so that we could definitely run 3 receiver sets and even 4 receiver sets. So I mean, it's a prove it year for Treylon. He's got to prove it. He's got to show that he can do something. And maybe there's a prove it to where if D-Hop does move on, Treylon can get in that position and be there with Calvin Ridley. So, that's something that you could definitely look at. And speaking of Calvin Ridley, as Big Dog said, Pure Speed, Calvin Ridley is looking good, ladies and gentlemen. 29 years old, but he might be for real 25, 26. Because remember, he was out for almost 2 years. So he missed a couple of years where he was just chilling. So he doesn't have as much tread on the tires as a typical receiver at 29. So I think that's a good thing. And I am definitely feeling that. I mean, this receiving core, I am getting more and more confident about, especially the first 4. Now, after that, for maybe 5, 6, and 7, which they may keep 7 receivers, is going to be the question. Because you got NWI, you got Kinsey, you got Phillips, you got Jaquan Jackson. I know I'm missing somebody. Colton Dowell is another one. There's about 5 or 6 receivers battling for maybe 3 spots. So you're going to have somebody who was on this team last year. They're not going to make it this year. That much is a fact. So all in all, I am encouraged from what I'm hearing and from what I'm seeing in OTAs and on the practice field. It doesn't seem as tense. Callahan just seems like he's more flowing as far as the press conferences. And it's like, I mean, again, he is not belittling anybody for any questions that they have. He is concise. He will sit there and answer every question that anybody wants to ask. And so I like that. I really, really do. And I think that's a good thing. But, a lot of people and Calvin Ridley and everybody talking about Treylon Burks man, he's like, a Julio or an AJ. And I mean, they may be pumping it a little bit too much, and I want y'all to tell me what you think. Are they pumping up Traylon a little bit too much, or could he actually be that? But I mean, I think we got to see it to believe it, to be honest. I got to see it to believe it. I think Traylon Burks has all the potential in the world, but we have got to see it. And I mean, this is year 3 for Traylon Burks because next year you got to decide if you're going to pick up his 5th-year option, which most likely they're not. I wouldn't. So that's that on that. Big Dog talking about Jaquan Jackson, and then he mentioned Tyler Boyd. Tyler Boyd looks good. And I think Callahan really likes having him and Chidobe Awuzie here because, you know, they're familiar with the scheme. They're definitely familiar with what Brian Callahan wants and things like that. So that is, again, a good thing. But one of the receivers in question that we're going to talk about, and that leads me to the question, is DeAndre Hopkins. And so D-Hop did not practice Wednesday. He did not practice Wednesday. And, you know, he was not there. And it was put out, and I believe Jarrett Stillman mentioned it yesterday, mentioned it on his show, was that D-Hop removed Titan stuff off of his Twitter. Removed stuff off of his Twitter. And so, of course, somebody put up, you know, oh, dang, D-Hop removed stuff from his Twitter. That means he's unhappy. And that means he wants out. And you know, probably wants a new contract and things like that. And so and so it made me think about it. I was like, okay, that might not be a bad subject to think about. Is D-Hop, you know, happy? Is D-Hop happy, or is he, you know, basically saying he wants out of Tennessee? But come to find out, you know, and that makes the question, is D-Hop unhappy in Tennessee? Okay. So, you know, it makes you wonder, is D-Hop unhappy? But comes to find out, even though the stuff with Twitter, you know, with Instagram may have happened, I really don't go too much into that. Come to find out, you know, um, what comes to find out is that even though he did miss the practice, he was basically at a it was either one or on three event somewhere he was basically speaking on topics of like money management, what truly matters financially on a salary. And so you know, he was definitely at an event where he was definitely talking to people about how not, you know, to go crazy with your money and things like that. He had a quote saying, if somebody tells you that you have a budget and that you can spend a certain amount of money and that number is crazy, honestly, you don't need to spend more than what you are spending now. You don't need to go buy the craziest cars, the chain with the most diamonds in it. You don't need that. And then, you know, saying temptations that may exist in overspending. You know, he's talking about why players do it. He say, you know, I know it looks good. You think it's going to get you whatever girl, but you don't need it. Or things like that. So he's talking about how, you know, you don't need to go crazy with your money and things like that. And, Don't try to compete with somebody in the locker room and things like that. So he was at an event, and it was a positive event. Definitely talking about financial responsibility and what to and what not to do and things like that. And so I'm definitely good with that. So what does it look like D Hop is unhappy? I would say no. So when I saw that, I was just like, I thought that would be an interesting subject to talk about and everything with that. But I don't think D Hop is unhappy. I think D Hop is perfectly happy, and he wants to be here. He wants to be a Titan, and I think he wants to finish his career as a Tennessee Titan. I really do. I think he wants to end it as a Tennessee Titan. I have not received any indication that he's unhappy or anything like that. Now, I would get it if I'm him. He wants, a little bit more security going into this year. Maybe re him up for maybe one more, maybe give him a new 2-year deal, and you can opt out after next season. Not this upcoming season, but the following season, you could get out if you want. I mean, if D-Hop balls out or is starting off good, I would resign him. I would definitely do that. I mean, I just think, D-Hop is a guy you need on this team. Because, again, you don't know what you have with Traylon Burks. And, we got to see Calvin Ridley in this offense with this team, even though Nick Holtz is familiar with him, the offensive coordinator is familiar with him. And, having Tyler Boyd there does help the receivers a lot. It helps Will Levis a lot. And, I mean, obviously, Levis and D-Hop have a pretty darn good connection. So I don't think D-Hop is unhappy as some may suggest. I do think it may not be a bad idea to re him up at least for another year. I don't think that's completely crazy to say. People say, well, he's getting old. He's getting up there in age. D-Hop's still doing damage. He's still balling. So I would not be opposed to re-signing him. I would not be opposed to that at all. And so I'm not gonna sit here and make a mountain out of a mole. And y'all should not either. I mean, I thought this would be a very interesting subject to talk about. I just thought it would be a very interesting subject to bring up. I know there's some people thinking, this is a trash take or a trash question. I'm trying to get clicks. No, it's not about that. I actually thought it would be a pretty decent conversation. And so I want to see what some of y'all think with that. Big Dog says, hey, he chose us for a reason. Parker says, D-Hop just posted something Titans related on his Instagram. Big Dog says he wants to be here. Lou Man says, please leave now, D-Drop. I mean, Lou Man is a real hater. Like, I'm starting to think of him like maybe close to Kent Woods a little bit, but maybe not to that extreme. But he kind of hating on D-Hop a little bit. Big Dog said D-Hop ain't going anywhere. Driz Beats says, well, D-Hop signed with y'all for a reason. Don't know why he would want out if he signed with y'all for a reason. That's what I've been hearing. I don't know if he signed for the money. I mean, he chose us for a reason. I definitely agree. I think Vrabel had something to do with that. But I mean, again, with the coaching change, he could have easily said, I want it out. And the Titans could have cut him after last season. They could have, but they didn't. They decided to hold on to him, so I think it's a good thing. What's up to Man Hour and the Man Hour Network? Again, I appreciate Man Hour letting me be on his channel and things like that. Again, got something coming up before the season as far as some things going on maybe for Sundays. So definitely stay tuned. We got something going on. Man Hour, D-Hop should be unhappy. He's now number 3. Wrong, Man Hour. I know you probably want him with the Chiefs. Ain't gonna happen. D-Hop and Ridley are 1A, 1B. That's pretty much. They're both gonna be on the field about 80 to 90% of the time. So, that's just how it's gonna be. Lou Man says maybe he's a cancer in the locker room, like they said with Tierra Tart. I disagree. Lou Man, you're way off. You're way off base. Man, I would say he wants a ring, won't get in Nashville. I mean, we'll see what Kansas City can do. I know everybody want Kansas City. I'm sick of that. Zari says, unless the team approached him about a pay cut and D-Hop noticing all that money that he can have, they weren't spending everywhere. I don't know. I definitely don't know. So we're definitely going to see. Of course, we have our troll. Kent Woods in here talking about the Bengals, and I'm not really going to put his comment up there. I'm not really going to pay him any attention. Man, I was saying the Steelers are a favorite in the AFC, and that's coming from a Chiefs fan. The Steelers ain't going to do nothing. Although I like TJ Watt now. I love me some TJ Watt. I'm not going to talk bad about that brother right there. Absolutely not. And I got much respect. For Mike Tomlin. I definitely do that. Parker Davis says, Snead hasn't showed up for OTAs. Actually, Snead is in the building. Snead is there. They're just rehabbing with him with his knees. That's why he hasn't been out there. They're, rehabbing, making sure everything is good. I mean, Snead doesn't need to really be out there right now. As long as he's ready to go by training camp, that's all that matters to me, and everything. So I think D-Hop is going to be fine. Big Dog said D-Hop seems very happy with us. Bar says, D-Hop wants to re-up on that bag from Carthon. I mean, he does want to re-up. I definitely could see that. And then Drizbeat says, I guess the D-Hop wants more money, but y'all ain't going to give it to him, so he upset. I beg to differ. I think they will re him up for a year. So, that's definitely going to be interesting. Let's see. Rumor has it TJ thought about texting a woman, and 5 months later she pushed out a baby. I'm not, can you elaborate on that, man, Hour? So you basically saying TJ Watt got some baby mama drama? That could be interesting. So, and Parker D says, I'm nervous he doesn't want to be here. I think he does want to be here. Let's not read too much into this. Let's not make a mountain out of a mole in this particular situation. And let's let it play out. I think D-Hop is perfectly fine here. I think D-Hop is good to go. And I am not worried when it comes to DeAndre Hopkins. I think D-Hop, is going to be just fine and things like that. Yeah, he did post something recently and things like that. So I think D-Hop is gonna be fine. There's still some stuff with him with the Titans on his Instagram. So I just thought it was interesting because I saw that, and I guess I kind of took it and ran with it. But I don't think D-Hop is unhappy, again. And I think that's why he wasn't there, because he was at an event. So he had a pretty good reason. So let's just move on from that. And I see some banner. I see some things going on. Let's think about this. What team would go out and get a D-Hop right now? Good question. I don't think too many teams would, but he wouldn't be a bad pickup. Gray Spot going to get a lot of one-on-one, going to get those numbers up and then get paid next year. I mean, that could be very interesting. He could. He very well could. Plus, the best quarterback in the South plays for the Titans. Will Levis. I think Will Levis has potential to be the best. We could definitely see that. I mean, right now, Jaguars are having issues. They wondering they should pay Trevor Lawrence. Anthony Richardson coming off of injury. What is he going to look like? And now that there's tape on CJ Stroud, are teams going to play the Texans differently? That's definitely going to be the question. But I think D-Hop will be just fine. And I'm not worried about that. TNT Tonight continuing on and everything, but really didn't have anything else to really go on with that. But also, yeah, I did see that Cedric Gray signed his 4-year contract. I believe it was like $4.5 million over 4 years or something like that. But now that means T'Vondre Sweat is the only draft pick left that has not signed. J.C. Latham is signed. Cedric Gray is signed. Jaquan Jackson is signed. All the other draft picks have signed except T'Vondre Sweat. Jarvis Brownlee signed. So Sweat is the only one left that has yet to sign. And so I think they're going to get that done. I think they're going to definitely get that done. And everything's going to be cool. All the draft picks will be ready to go and everything like that. So I definitely like that. But it is the last week of the month. Usually on Wednesday, I do a the last Wednesday of the month, I do a Shut Your Pie Hole. And I haven't done that in a while. But I'm going to do a Shut Your Pie Hole. This just came to my mind. And I'm kind of glad I get to do it. And I want to say, shut your pie hole to EA Sports and PlayStation. Because I got a bone to pick with them. So they're bringing back NCAA college football. They're bringing back the video game this year. I'm stoked. I'm excited like everybody else. And it comes to find out, oh, they're not going to put it. I have a PlayStation 4. Come to find out, they're not going to put it on PlayStation 4. They're only going to put it on PlayStation 5, or they're going to put it on the newest Xbox One, and stuff like that. So basically now, if I want to play the new NCAA college football game, I'm going to have to go buy and pay $400 for a brand new PS5. And I think that's ridiculous. I'm like, why in the world do I need to shell out $400 or $500 so I can play a new video game when Madden is gonna come out on PlayStation 4? I have a PS4. Just put it on PS4 like all the other games. Some people can't afford a PlayStation 5. And so basically you're saying, well, it's got to go on a 5. So I just think that's ridiculous. I can't stand it. EA Sports, EA Sports, shame on you for not doing that. Shut your pie hole and put it on PlayStation 4 so I can play it and enjoy it like everybody else. I understand that's probably the best graphics and things like that, but I want it on PlayStation 4. I ain't got $400 or $500 to shell out for a new system. Can't stand that. I think it's messed up. And of course, I know a lot of people are clowning on Kent. Tell him to shut his pie hole and go back to the woods. But Kent's a friend of the show. Kent's a good guy. Kent's a good guy who, he said he got sick of the mediocrity of the Tennessee Titans, which I understand. A lot of us was probably sick of that as well. But, hey, I applaud him. I told him, I said, hey, if you're going to quit being a Titans fan and go with somebody else, you go to that side, you stick to that side. I told him that, and so far, that is exactly what he's done. He is stuck to his principles, and I got to applaud him for it. Drisby says, nothing wrong with being a Titans fan. Like, I'm a Saints fan, and I don't have any problem with them. And honestly enough, I don't have any problem with Kent either. I don't. I just, Kent and I joke with Kent a lot. I joke. I pick on him, during the show. And he knows it's all love. And basically, in the end, that's what it is. He's coming in here doing some friendly talk because he wants to be part of the family still. He wants to be that distant cousin that still come over and you're still cool. So it's okay. Kid says, hope all is well with you. Hey, I'm a work in progress. I'm under construction. Let's just say that. I am a work in progress. That's all I can be. I'm working on me. Let's see. Amar said he seen all these receivers getting money. He wants more money. Right now, that Calvin Ridley contract is looking real good right now. It is. It's looking real good. Man, I was saying that now you like the overrated Bengals. Yeah, he is. Lou Man says, I mess with him because he messed with me. Yeah, he does that. He does that. He messes with me too. So, and I don't mind that. I think it's cool to do that. It's good for the it's good for the banter. We enforcer strong. I like that with y'all. I definitely like that. But in other news in the world of sports, I mean, I really haven't heard anything else going on around the league or anything like that. Definitely gonna, if there's something to talk about next week, I'll definitely come in. I'm probably gonna be coming up with some more ideas. Again, let me know what y'all thought of the let me know what y'all thought of the new graphic. I'm trying some things differently. I'm trying to work on some things, trying to kind of, change some things up a little bit as far as the channel, kind of trying to make it better, make it look good, maybe attract more viewers and things like that. I think that thumbnail is pretty good. Make sure again y'all subscribe to the channel, Titans and Truth. Probably going to be making a change a little bit because I'm going to be trying to open it up to a little bit more of other sports as well and other teams also. So I'm definitely going to be working on that while the players are on break. So I'm definitely going to be trying to, put some new things in to get ready for the season and everything. Again, make sure y'all go ahead and smash that like button. And then also, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well. I think everything is good. So I think I'm finna get ready to call it a show. I'm probably going to get ready to go get me a workout in right quick. And we'll keep tabs on what's going on with the Titans. I'll be doing some shorts and things like that as time goes on to keep the things going. I'm not going to completely go away, but probably going to do a couple, maybe do some shorts or do some shows that are maybe 5, 10, 15 minutes long and things like that. Kind of just give it some updates. So that's probably what I'm going to do. Maybe we could talk about Tannehill's future. I mean, that's not a bad idea because, right now he is still unsigned. So that could be very interesting to see. But everybody, I want to say thank y'all for tuning in to TNT Tonight. I'm your man, Chris, a.k.a. Blue Enforcer. I hope everybody has a very, very good rest of your Wednesday. And y'all know what we gonna do. Tighten up. Because that's all we know how to do. Good night, y'all.